Okay. So in the previous class, we have discussed about, we have started about the voltage control. So what is the importance of the voltage control and what are the techniques we are using? We have just mentioned the techniques. And in the previous class, we have discussed the excitation control. Excitation control, this is one of the technique to improve the voltage. So especially this method is suitable for generating stations. So next we have started tap changing transformer. So tap changing transformer, this is also one of the method. This is also one of the method used to control the voltage in transmission as well as distribution systems. So generally we will use it transmission. So this is also suitable for the distribution systems. So by using this tap changing transformer, the voltage control, we can control the voltage in transmission as well as distribution system by using tap changing transformers. So here in the name itself indicates that tap changing. So tap changing means, so if you see the diagram of the, if you see the diagram of the uh, tap changing transformer. So primary is similar to normal transformer, power transformer. So when it comes to the secondary, there are so many tappings are available. So there are so many tappings are available. These are all are adjustable tappings. So there is a switch will be there. So based upon the requirement of the secondary voltage, means secondary voltage. So by changing the EMF of the secondary, we are changing the secondary turns. So by changing the secondary turns, we are going to injecting the changing the EMF, and accordingly we will connect. Wherever the requirement is more means uh, we will on this tap changing last one. So if the requirement is less means based upon the number of means based upon the requirement of the voltage, so the particular tap changing will get adjusted. So accordingly it will adjust it. So in this tap changing transformers, so there are two types. One is half load tap changing transformer, another one is on load tap changing transformer. Half load tap changing transformer means in the name itself indicates that, so half loading tap changing transformer will be used for the voltage control in transmission systems as well as distribution systems, but half load, so it will only suitable whenever the load is off condition. Whenever the load is off condition, then only you can do the voltage control, then only it will boost the voltage. Whenever the load is at on condition, this is whenever the load is at on condition, this method is not suitable. This method is not suitable. So main disadvantage of this method is, so whenever the load is at on condition, this offload tap changing transformer will can't be used, can't be used. So that is the main drawback of half load tap changing transformer. So comes to the advantages, it is somewhat less cost, somewhat cheaper when compared to on-load tap changing transformer. On-load tap changing transformer. So another one is that is about off-load tap changing transformer. Next one is on-load tap changing transformer. So here the name itself indicates that on-load tap changing transformer. On-load means whenever the load is at on condition, also uh, we can control the voltage, we can provide the voltage, how much efficiency is there, we can provide the voltage. Here whatever the drawback we are receiving from half load tap changing transformer, it will be minimized by using on load tap changing transformer. So that is one of the main advantage. The main advantage is whenever the load is at on condition, also we can change the, we can provide the voltage control, we can give the voltage deficiency, whatever the voltage drop is there, that will be provided by your tap changing transformer, on load tap changing transformer. So what about the disadvantages of on load tap changing transformer? Is there any disadvantages means? Yes, there are disadvantages. One disadvantage is It is not economical. When compared to half-load tap changing transformer, it is not economical, means it is not cheaper. That is the main drawback. And one more drawback is whenever during switching operations, tap changing means whatever the requirement is there, so accordingly the switches will be closed, the voltage will be provided by your tap changing transformer. The voltage will be provided by your tap changing transformer. Okay, but during this switching operations, during this switching operations, the transformer, the equipment will receive some voltage surges. Voltage surges means some voltage variations it will receive. Voltage surge means sudden increase in the voltage. So see here, sudden increase in the surge means sudden increase in your voltage uh, value. That is nothing but surge. That is also one of the disadvantage. So one disadvantage, it is costly. Another disadvantage is you may receive some voltage surges, some voltage spikes during switching operations. That is main disadvantage of this on-load tap changing transformer. So this is about tap changing transformers. Another one is so one more advantage of this on-load tap changing transformer is, so in the continuity of the power supply is it will be there, whatever, even though the load is at off condition or at on condition, the continuity of the supply is will be there by using top changing transformer. And most probably on load tap changing transformer will be used when compared to half load tap changing transformer. So based upon the requirement and application, we will use accordingly. So next one is induction voltage regulators. Induction voltage regulators. So by using this induction voltage regulators also, we can control the voltage. So what is meant by induction regulator? So basically regulator is an electrical machine similar to induction motor. So except here, the rotor is not allowed to rotate continuously. The rotor of the induction regulator holds which is connected across holds primary winding, which is connected across the parallel of the supply voltage. The stationary secondary winding is connected in series with the line. So here, the primary, it is similar to in electrical machine. It is similar to induction motor. Here, the primary will be, which is connected across the supply. The secondary is connected in series with the line. Means secondary is connected. The induction regulator is connected in series. Wherever you want to regulate the voltage, wherever you want to compensate the voltage drop. So that is the main point. By using secondary winding of the induction regulator, we can regulate the voltage. Here by so the secondary voltage will be adjusted by rotating the primary winding. So according to the requirement, it will be adjusted. Induction regulators were used to control the voltage of electrical network. So here there is a small difference between tap changing transformers and this. Here in on-load, off-load tap changing transformers, the secondary contains tappings. Secondary contains tappings. Here tappings are not there. So by rotating the primary, so the secondary voltage will be adjusted accordingly. So that is the main difference between that and this. So next, voltage control by using shunt reactors. Shunt reactors means reactor means simply a coil. Simply a coil. So if this connected in parallel, it will be called as a shunt. If it is connected in series, it will be called as a series reactor. So voltage control will be done by using shunt reactors. Suppose a load is there. A load is there. Suppose if you want to boost up the voltage, if you want to control the voltage, simply if you connect this shunt reactor parallel to it, so that will be done. The voltage controlling will be done by the shunt reactors. So these shunt reactors are basically inductive elements, so which are provided at the sending end and receiving end of transmission lines. So that are provided at sending end as well as the receiving end. So this is also suitable for the transmission sites as well as distribution sites. And what wherever you want to control the voltage, so you have to place there itself. Suppose if you want to control at the sending end, so simply place these shunt reactors there. Suppose if you want to control the voltage at the receiving end, simply place these reactors at the receiving end. So wherever you want to change the voltage, so you have to be placing. Suppose main disadvantage is, so whenever the transmission is not loaded or lightly loaded, the line capacitance predominates the receiving end. Means just like a Ferranti effect. This is nothing but a Ferranti effect. So Ferranti effect means Ferranti effect is nothing but whenever the load is at light load, or whenever the whenever the load is whenever there is a no load condition, the due to the capacitance between the transmission lines, the always the receiving end voltage is greater than the sending end. So this effect will be called as Ferranti effect. Ferranti effect. Ferranti effect means generally we will observe in long transmission lines, not in short transmission lines and medium. So whenever in long transmission lines, you will see the effect of the capacitance. Whenever the load is at no load condition or light load condition, the receiving end voltage is greater than the sending end voltage. The receiving end voltage is greater than the sending end voltage. So this effect will be called as Ferranti effect, and this effect will be minimized by using this shunt reactors. Shunt reactor is completely different, opposite, vice versa of a capacitor. So shunt reactors will be used to compensate the line capacitance, to cancel the line capacitance. So by canceling the line capacitance, here the voltage will get controlled. The voltage will get controlled. So like this, we can control the voltage by using shunt reactors. So next one is voltage control by using shunt capacitors. Shunt means parallel. So if you connect any capacitor in parallel to a load, wherever you want to voltage control the voltage, so simply voltage control will be done by the shunt capacitors. So shunt capacitors are generally installed at the receiving end substations or near to the industrial loads. So most of the loads, whatever the loads we are using, all are inductive nature only. So where the power factor is lagging. So suppose if you connect these shunt capacitors across the load, wherever you want to boost up the voltage, so simply connect these shunt capacitors across it. So whatever the drop receiving from the inductive loads, it will be these shunt capacitors will get cancelled, will get compensate. Whatever the drop is there, inductance drop is there, so that will be cancelled partially or fully cancelled by these shunt capacitors. Therefore, whatever the drop, voltage drop we are experiencing at the load, due to load itself, will get compensated by this shunt capacitors, So this is how we will control the voltage by using shunt capacitors. So next one is synchronous condenser. So voltage control by synchronous condenser. So whatever the shunt capacitor is doing, the same principle, the same thing, it will be done by synchronous condenser, but the device will be used and the application will be different. So generally this will be suitable for means synchronous condenser. The machine is different. Means if you compare with the shunt capacitors, so it is somewhat stronger than shunt capacitor. The lifespan will be more when compared to the lifespan of synchronous condenser will be more when compared to shunt capacitor. That is the difference. Synchronous condenser is nothing but synchronous condenser is basically a synchronous motor over excitation. If you run that synchronous motor at over excitation at no load condition, then it will acts like a capacitor. So this will also called as synchronous condenser. The synchronous condenser is nothing but it is basically an overexcited synchronous motor running at no load condition. So if you run This synchronous motor, a overexcited synchronous motor at no load condition, simply it acts like a capacitor. Simply it acts like a capacitor, which is somewhat stronger than shunt capacitor. That's it. So synchronous condenser is also called as synchronous phase modifiers. Synchronous condenser is also called as synchronous phase modifiers. So generally it will be connected or located near to the load end and can inject or absorb the reactive power. So generally always it will be connected to the load end. So whatever the lagging current or voltage drop we are receiving due to the load end, it will be compensated by the synchronous condenser. So it will be compensated by the synchronous condenser. So it by using this, we can improve the voltage profile. We can improve the voltage profile if you do the analysis before the installation of the synchronous condenser and after the installation of the synchronous condenser, you will see some difference in the voltage profile. The voltage profile will get means after the installation of these all these voltage controlling devices, so we will observe some voltage profile boosting. Boosting means some improvement in your voltage profile you can observe. So you can if you want, you can do the to simulation also. So you can observe the same things before the installation. The voltage drop will be there and the voltage profile will somewhat less, and after this installation you will observe some improvement in your voltage profile. So these are all the techniques which are used for voltage control. One is excitation control or automatic voltage regulators. In that, Terrell automatic voltage and Braun Bowery regulator will be used. Another one is by using tap changing transformers. In that, on load tap changing and off load tap changing transformers are used. Induction regulators, by using induction regulators also we can boost up the voltage. And series inductors, shunt capacitors, so by using series reactors and shunt capacitors, synchronous condensers also we can use we can control the voltage. In addition to this, so one more device will be used, that is booster transformer. So one more device you can use to control the voltage, that is by using booster transformer. Booster transformer means it is similar to a transformer where we can do the finest adjustments also, where we can do the finest voltage adjustments also we can do it easily. So booster transformer, we can do the finest voltage, we can provide the finest voltage drops also we can minimize. And moreover, what is the specialty of this booster transformer is, suppose this will be mostly suitable for in a transmission lines. With transmission line, suppose if you want to control the voltage far away from the your receiving end, far away from the receiving end or far away from your sending end. So in that case, this booster transformer will be more will be very much flexible in that case. So wherever you want to control the voltage far away very long distances, so you can apply easily this booster transformer and you can control the voltage so you can easily connect this booster transformer. This is in smaller size when compared to other transformers. Wherever you want to uh, improve the voltage or you want to control the voltage drop, so this booster transformer will be useful. So in addition to this device, so booster transformer also useful to control the voltage. So this is the necessity of controlling the voltage. Always your voltage should be in a tolerable limits. So if the voltage is not up to your tolerable statutory limits, so your devices will get damaged. Suppose if any device will work up to 20 years, the lifespan, if the voltage variations are more, means the lifespan of your device will get less, the device will get damaged. So this is about uh, the importance of the voltage control and different techniques for the voltage control. Thank you.